Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really want to talk about the reasons why I am studying psychology. So many students study psychology. Psychology is a very pretty much known subject in all the universities across the world. I chose science because I was having science in the previous education that I was in first year and second year. I have done my FSC, which is also considered as science. And so, for those of you considering and stuck between choosing whether to go for a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology or Bachelor of Science in Psychology, so if you are doing psychology as a major, then it really doesn't matter. Uh, Choose what goes the most true to your interest. So it is all about the interest. If you're interested, if you're a sciencey person, then you will be more comfortable in the field of science than in arts. It's all your choice. It is up to you to know what you really want, what is your need. So the first reason why I decided to study psychology was my interest. I was interested in psychology because I was fascinated to know how the human mind works and the other behavioral aspects of it, it and the things that we are taught in the psychology class are way more interesting. What I mean by interesting things that we discuss in the class related to psychology, for example, if I tell you about Phineas Gage, who was a man who used to work in a railway construction uh, sector. As he was working there, a metal pipe blew straight through his head, like a pipe made out of metal went through his forehead and punctured through the back of his skull, but he still survived. Later on, after the surgery, it was identified that he has no more the personality that he was having before. He was completely a changed person. So this is what makes psychology more interesting. If you talk more about this man, why the personality was changed, it was at that time it was discovered that the frontal lobe of your head is responsible for your personality. So that is why it affected his personality, and a well-known man, Phineas Gage, who was well known by everyone and was very respected, suddenly changed into a person who was having angry outbursts. I know this may sound cliche, but I was really interested in criminal minds. I was interested to know how the minds of the criminals work. How do they commit a crime, and on what basis do they commit a crime? What makes them to commit a crime? So these are very interesting things we study in psychology. But if you do not like that part, the criminal part, then there is much more in psychology. This is a very wide and broad area in which you have many options that you can go for. Just because you study bachelors of arts or science, you are not restricted in any way to choose what you want to do. The university teaches you all these different subjects, to build up the foundation for you, that later on in life you make a better decision in choosing what you want to specialize in psychology. So in the start, this is the building up of your foundation, and later on you can specialize in any other field of your choice, even if you get to study what you do not want to in this field in bachelor's life. Example of how broad this subject is: you can be doing biological psychology, cognitive psychology, behavioral psychology, social psychology, which has to do with like the personality of the individual. Why do they interact with? Why are we so different from each other? Why are we responding in different ways with each other? And not only that, there's also such a diverse amount of jobs that you can apply for with the psychology degree. And you do not necessarily need a psychology degree only to apply for these jobs. But I think this makes a great impression on when you go for the interview, because they are like, oh, psychology, he knows about people. For example, I also meet people when I tell them that I'm doing psychology, they're like, oh, can you read my mind? And I'm like, no. So other examples of getting a job might be in teaching, marketing, or you can say in academic research if you go for a PhD. and you can also apply in the HR, human resource. Third reason for me to study psychology is that its job is quite prestigious in a way. As you know, more people are accessing for mental health support, and the government of Pakistan has started to recognize the importance of it as well. And I think this creates more jobs for psychologists in the social sectors and counseling. I'm not saying that there are no jobs. You have a psychologist in every hospital in Pakistan now, most of the hospitals, and many other fields as well, which I have mentioned in my previous video. If you want to watch that, you can know what are the eight major opportunities that you can achieve by getting a psychology degree. Unlike going to a doctor for a core physical disease or infection, they prescribe these medicines and say that this will work for you no matter what happens. This is the only solution. But if you do the same thing with the mental health patients and with them who are suffering, going through severe conditions, it is very bad because they then feel that they are isolated and they think that I'm the only one going through this. This will not end. So it is very bad for them. But mental health professionals are especially out there for them, and sticking with them throughout their journey of recovery. And I say this job is prestigious because the psychologists in social work are the only way for these patients to go for, because they cannot go anywhere else for support. The fourth reason is a bit more personal. So I'm really interested in pursuing for clinical psychology, because then I am sitting with my client on a chair, and then my client is also sitting on a chair, and we talk for an hour and discuss what's bothering them, him or her. Talks like how can I help their history, their childhood history, and the things that have previously followed them, and those things are impacting them now or not. So I really like the nature of it, because you're really grooming with this client. As you can see, you can only see the impact you are having on them, being there with them and having all the knowledge and experience to guide them through this path of life. So I'm sure that you really enjoyed this video, and I hope that you now choose psychology as a major as well and not get confused, because I have mentioned all the things in my previous videos that why it is important and what are the major opportunities if you go for it. And if you like this video, please like it, uh, and if you want to know about more of psychology and see my more videos as well. And if you want to see more videos relating to psychology, then please press the subscribe button and push the bell icon as well, so that you can get the latest updates and news about my latest videos that I upload, and you do not miss any of them. So thank you for watching and subscribing and liking if you have done it. I really appreciate that, and I hope that I will be creating more good videos for you. But now I think I will be creating more videos relating to how the university life is and what you need to know about the university, because they do not teach you in school or colleges what it is going to be like ahead. And I will be very happy if you have any questions. You can write them down in the comment section so that I will acknowledge them and will answer them in my upcoming videos, as well as I will do a video on question and answers session, in which I will be giving answers to all your questions that I have compiled. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and subscribe and